Good morning, everybody. Good morning. How it is on a happy Saturday, July 4th. All right, I'm back at y'all with another episode. This is episode 15. So we got a couple things to go over. I'm going to go over the New Mexico flooding, as well as Ben Mclemore, his stuff. So he was found guilty and I believe given 8 years. So we're going to talk about that. And then we just got some other stuff to talk about. Slowest Earth Day. So, yep. Shout out to Ashley. She brought that up. So, Earth's slowest day was, I think, July 9th. So, talk about all that. But, hey, let's get right into it. The first thing we're going to talk about is the New Mexico flooding. So, let's jump right into that.
Welcome back here to Live now from Fox as we continue to follow the devastating flooding in central Texas. We're also giving you a live look of Ruidoso, New Mexico. Broken tree limbs, twisted metal, crumpled cars, muddy debris remain as crews are working to clear roads in the wake of a flash flood. I did want to head over to Robert Ray with our Fox weather team. He is live out there joining us. Good morning to you, Robert.
Good morning to you. I wish I had better news to report from this beautiful part of America. Ruidoso, New Mexico in the mountains, and look at this. You see behind me the vehicle that is on top of a tree, sitting on top of rocks, steel, and it is wrapped. And this is the Rio Ruidoso River.
That is wild. You can see the red X or the orange X means that they already searched that for survivors. That is absolutely wild. The water pushed the whole truck on top of a fallen down tree, steel. What is it? Is that another car up under it? That is crazy.
It looks quite calm right now, but 2 days ago, just several inches of rain fell in the mountains around here and created an absolute hellscape where the water rose 19 to 20 feet in just 35 minutes, came down the mountainside and ravaged structures, vehicles, livelihoods, and took the lives of 3 people, including a 4- and 7-year-old little kid. Just terrible, terrible news. Now, I want to explain to our viewers how this happened. You may say, 3 inches of rain, how can that happen where 19 to 20 feet rise and all of this destruction? A year ago, in this area in the mountains were historic wildfires. And what that created was burn scars, okay? So when they fought these fires and put them out, the first frontal firefighters moved through these pockets, creating, ditches. And there was natural ditches created also by the fires. And those ditches essentially act as, if you've ever been on a water slide at a water park or a water tube, there's many of these escape routes for water. So it falls from the atmosphere and it heads down the mountain on these burn scars. And then it all conglomerates into a river basin. Well, this time the Rio Ruidoso River. And the rise from all that water that came from all these areas created the wall of water that came into Ruidoso. And that is the flash flood scenario. Now, here's the other interesting thing.
So he said 3 inches of rain caused, 19 to 20 feet rise just because it all converged in one area. That is insane. Let's keep going.
People had alerts that this potentially could be a flash flood emergency. And they got those from the National Weather Service. They got those from their phones and the Fox Weather app if they had it. The problem is that a lot of people here, just like over in Texas, in Kerrville and the other counties in Hill Country, people are talking about how there needs to be even more warning on top of those smartphone alerts. And there maybe needs to be sirens. This is the second time that this area has been in a flash flood emergency in 2025. Obviously,
So the second time in 2025 and they ain't got sirens yet? No, you got to have Like I said before, you got to have sirens to where if somebody's close by, it's going to bust some eardrums. You got to wake up everybody in the whole, around the whole place. Wake up everybody. Let's keep going.
Explanation of the burn scars hopefully helped as to why this occurred. But there is a lot of questions that are being tossed around. In the meantime, the mourning of the loss of the 3 people here, including 2 children. And it just doesn't get any worse than that, especially on top of what happened in Kerrville and the at least 30 little girls killed at Camp Mystic and still many missing. This has been a horrific week for flooding across America, from North Carolina to Chicago to Texas to now here in New Mexico. Monsoon season is upon us here in the Southwest, and let's hope it is not hardy, but it definitely could be. People need to be on alert. Back to you.
That is wild. But let's go over to the next video. So there's just more about the flooding that happened in Mexico. That is crazy. New Mexico.
Welcome back here on Live Now from Fox 1232 on the East Coast and 932 on the West Coast. Video showing the aftermath here of extreme flash flooding in southern New Mexico. You can actually watch there in real time as a business is flooded by the water that is moving very fast. This is from the village of Ruidoso, where officials say at least 3 people are confirmed dead, including 2 very young children. The 3 victims were caught in rushing flood waters and carried downstream, we're told, as the river rose to record levels. I do want to bring in Mayor Lynn Crawford of Ruidoso.
You got to think about how much the businesses suffered. All these businesses suffered because of this. So much money is lost, inventory. The damage is unimaginable. Gee.
To discuss a little bit more about all of this. Mayor, I know you are very busy. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here with us today.
Well, thank you for having us. Appreciate it.
And first off, I did want to ask you how everything did happen here just several days ago as the rain started. Kind of walk me through all of that.
Well, it was just a beautiful day. You know, we're in our monsoon season, and so we're expecting light rains continually. This is when we get our moisture. It's really one of the most beautiful times of the year. Well, started out like any other day, but we're very much aware of the fire and the burn scars that we had last year. So we have crews always on alert. We're dealing with the meteorologists constantly. We showed that there was a storm system that was possibly going to build, and it was going to start around 1 to 4 o'clock building. We had a 1 p.m. council meeting that we were just starting when I got notified that the system had changed and was intensifying very quickly. So we dismissed all of our first responders. They were getting pre-positioned, and then a little after 2 p.m., the skies opened up and we received 3.5 inches of water of rain in about 90 minutes. Unfortunately, a lot of that hit that burn scar. And so shortly after, we had a wall of water, waves of walls of water between 8 and 10 feet tall that just constantly ran through the community, taking away homes.
8 to 10 feet tall walls of water. That's insane.
I'm sure you've seen the dramatic video of an entire home caught up in a river that just definitely moments before you could have jumped across. And now I've got a 1,500 square foot home floating down the river, along with cars, propane tanks, and anything else that got in its way.
And I'm actually going to pull up that video for folks who have not seen it just yet. You can watch their video captured as that home is actually floating through. And I didn't know, have you heard if anyone was inside, if there were any injuries there? What do we know about that specific situation?
No, that home was not occupied. It's in one of the flood prone areas that we have identified since the fire and the flood last year. So, you know, we've gone, you know, we notified.
That is insane. Imagine you just looking on social media because you know the flood, you already evacuated, and you just see your home floating down the river. Like, oh my God. Jesus. That is absolutely crazy.
The people that there it is right there, that their homes are in a floodplain, so that they need to be aware. And when they get the alerts, they need to go ahead and move to higher ground. And so fortunately, there was no one in that home.
And you
I'm thinking about the person recording this. That is crazy.
Talked a little bit about the rain itself, the fires that had burned a while back there. Has this area of New Mexico ever seen anything like the flooding that we're looking at right here on your screen?
Well, not since the earliest that I've seen any documentation and pictures were from 1941. And then last year, after the June 17th fire, in 2024, the South Fork, and then the Salt Fire, we saw significant flooding after that, but nothing like this.
Do we have an idea just yet if there was a warning or an emergency of some kind that was issued? Is that something that is clear, or is it still being looked into as, again, this just happened a couple days ago?
Right. No, there were many warnings that were sent out, 5 warnings. We have a multi-layered stack system. Your IPAW system, which is when you're in an area, that's the National Weather Service, that they will send out a report in your phone. Anybody with a cell phone on a carrier, you get that alert if you're in that area. We have the Call Me Ruidoso system, which is much like, it is a reverse 911 system. That's an opt-in system that people opt into. We have our local radio stations. We have constant updates on social media. And then at the last is the full siren system, which
so they have siren systems. Okay. Golly. Now thinking about it, this happened at 1 o'clock. I think they said that where it started intensifying, or they knew it was going to intensify. So it didn't happen early in the mornings, which I'm assuming saved many more casualties from happening. But still, they still lost 3 people, and I believe they said 2 of them were little kids. So, like always, same thing with Texas. We got to keep everybody in our prayers, pray for them. I'm going to say this all the time. Mother Nature is very scary, so you got to be prepared. But let's keep going. Finish up this video.
Misspoke. That's not our last point of system. The last point of contact is we go door to door in those flood prone areas. But people are asking why we didn't set off the citywide alert system, which is a signal to evacuate the community. And the last thing we wanted to do was to get people that were safe in high ground in their vehicles to get out of town and put them in harm's way. Because the way these floods happen, they come so quickly. And then after a short period, they're gone. And so last thing we wanted to do is get a lot of folks out in cars at stop signs in low-lying areas.
Mayor, thank you so much for taking the time to join us here and discuss this a little bit further. As I mentioned, I know you do have a lot going on, so we definitely appreciate your time.
Now that is wild. Just from 4 inches of rain, they got 8 to 10 feet of water raw just because it all converged on one area. Now, see, they're not trying to blame anyone. Like you hear a lot of people over in Texas trying to blame people, but it's a sad flooding season for everyone around. That is crazy. But like I said, let's keep everybody in our prayers for everything that's happening. It's a crazy world, but hey, we got to keep living it. Now we're going to pivot some. We're going to pivot over into the Ben Mclemore stuff. So if you don't know Ben Mclemore, Ben Mclemore is a former Portland Trailblazer, NBA player, and he was just charged or sentenced to 8 years for sexually assaulting a woman. Now, what he claimed was that basically just a background, he claimed that they was at a party and he helped, this girl was overly drunk and he helped some of his friends, or helped her with her friends to put her on the couch. He ended up falling asleep on that same couch, and he says he woke up with her hands down his pants and he ended up just having sex with her. Then he said he left without talking to her, without getting her number or anything like that. And then that is what happened. That is what he claims now. That is what he claims. But hey, we don't know what happened. It's a crazy situation, but he made horrible. It sounds like overall he made horrible decisions the whole time. I don't know if he's a scumbag that was looking to sexually assault someone, or if it was just she was too drunk, but ended up doing what he said. I don't know. We don't know what happened, but hey, at the end of the day, he was charged and he was sentenced by a jury of his peers. So we got to live with it. That's all you got to do. But let's jump right into that. So we're going to hear she talks about what happened. And I think it took a while for him to even be arrested. So let's go right into that. Well, y'all need to see it now. Come on.
Our Portland trailblazer is set to spend more than 8 years in prison after he was found guilty of rape during his time with the team.
In court today, the victim spoke just before the judge handed down his sentence.
This has been the longest 4 years of my life.
8 years and 4 months. That's how long Ben Mclemore will be in prison after being found guilty of raping a woman at a house party back in 2021. It happened while the 32-year-old was on the Portland Trailblazers team at the Lake Oswego home of his then teammate, Robert Covington.
I've had to continue on with my life with a piece of it left unresolved. These last few years have often felt like a weight that I've had to drag behind me, a constant reminder of the trauma that I haven't fully been able to work through because there was no ending in sight.
He wasn't arrested and indicted until just last year, and today the victim addressed the court, speaking about the years-long process it took for justice to be served.
This experience has taken an immense toll on my emotional and mental health. It's changed me in ways that I've never expected, and yet I've carried this burden in silence. Thanks to the jury's verdict, I can finally feel a weight being lifted. A weight that I've carried for far too long, and while I can't truly describe the relief that I feel, I know that today I stand a little taller and a little freer.
Mclemore was found guilty of several charges, including first-degree rape, despite his claims that the sexual encounter was consensual.
He used my vulnerability against me and then had the audacity to lie about the disgusting act that he committed.
The victim said in court today that she hopes this trial will be a testament that no one is above the law, no matter their status.
So many times.
Yeah, she is absolutely right. No one is above the law. No matter what their status is, their position, does not matter. No one is above the law.
We hear about people in positions of power or fame avoiding accountability, but I knew that no matter how famous Mr. Mclemore was or how much he may have loved and respected his family, he was still capable of hurting someone else.
Mclemore was also sentenced to 11 and a half years of post-prison supervision and will have to register as a sex offender.
God dang. Now, like I said, we don't know what truly happened there, but we have to believe in the jury system. They looked at the evidence and they found him guilty. So now he has 8 years in prison, and then after he gets out, 11. I think they said. Hold on, let's back it up. They said 11 months. They said 11 years, didn't they?
Post-prison supervision, and Mclemore was also sentenced to 11 and a half years of post-prison supervision.
11 and a half years of post-prison supervision, and he's on the sexual, and he's a sexual,
and will have to register as a sex offender.
Jesus. All because, see, the first mistake, if he is telling the truth, which I don't know, we can't say that we know for sure if he is telling the truth, but even if he is, she can still be too overly drunk to be consenting to that. So first mistake was him even laying down on the same couch as her. Why would you even do that? Crazy. I don't care if I have to sleep on the floor. I'm not laying on the couch with a random passed out drunk girl because you don't know what can happen. Men have to be very particular about what they do because anything can ruin your life. And now he's ruined his life. And 20 years where he has to live under supervision. Now tell me what your thoughts is. Tell me what your thoughts is of the sentence. That is absolutely crazy. But hey, do the crime, got to do the time. Don't know what else to say. Golly, Jesus. I want to hear that. I got to hear that sentence one more time.
He was still capable of hurting someone else.
Mclemore was also sentenced to 11 and a half years of post-prison supervision and will have to register as a sex offender.
Register as a sex offender. That is absolutely disgusting. That's all I can say. It's a very disgusting thing, but Jesus. But yep, we had to get that update on that. Because I did, if you go back and watch my last videos, there's videos posted about him, just of him talking about what we was discussing before, about what he says happened. But it's over with now. Now we got to get into some of the newer stuff that happens. An employee at McDonald's was stabbed by her coworker. She was the manager. And yes, she was stabbed by someone she sent home. And then a civilian, someone out of the blue, stopped it by firing his gun up in the air because he saw her getting stabbed. But it's a crazy world we live in, that someone you know and you wouldn't think this will happen from, that we'll get into it, but it is absolutely wild. We'll talk about while we're going through it. But let's jump right into that.
A mother killed in a workplace stabbing.
My mama died trying to take care of us.
A McDonald's manager killed in the middle of the morning rush, and police say it was another employee who did it.
Jennifer Harris was working her shift this morning when she sent an employee home early. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Kimberly Gill.
And I'm Ty Steele. Police say that employee left and then came back and killed her with a knife. This happened at the McDonald's on 9 Mile West. West of Kelly and East Point. Noel Frio is live with the details. Noel, we hear a Good Samaritan stepped in and tried and stop this.
Yeah, that's right. Police say that stabbing happened near this drive-through window behind me. And they say a customer who was in the drive-through stepped in and stopped the suspect from fleeing the scene before police arrived. We've now learned that the victim was a mother of 6.
Oh, God.
Employees described the terrifying.
Mother of 6, working hard. Manager at McDonald's. You never know what can happen. You never know who you make angry for just sending them home. You send them home, and then they get so angry that you send them home, they come back and stab you. Now your 6 children are without a mother. It's absolutely crazy.
Moments inside a McDonald's after a worker attacked a manager with a knife. Police say the employee had been in an argument with the manager that ended with her being sent home.
She left for 5 minutes. She came back with a mask on her face. And the only thing I seen was her hands. That's how I knew it was her.
Family of the victim identify her as 30.
5 minutes. She came back in 5 minutes and stabbed her because of an argument. What you think is going to happen when you argue with your manager? You're going to get sent home. And then 5 minutes later, she comes back with a mask over her face and stabs her. That is absolutely wild.
39-year-old Jennifer Harris. She was stabbed multiple times before a customer in the drive-through line intervened, holding the employee at gunpoint until officers arrived.
He had her sitting down there about in the parking lot next to a vehicle, and he had the gun pointed at her. That's when police and all them rolled up.
He did the right thing. He showed, so to speak, heroism, and we really appreciate his assistance because, like I said, otherwise we would have a dangerous criminal right now.
I hate to say this, but why didn't he shoot her? He seen her stabbing her. Why didn't he shoot her? Maybe he couldn't get a safe shot off to where he wouldn't hit the victim, but that is absolutely crazy. He did stop her and held her at gunpoint, so hey. He did the right thing. He was able to stop her. They was able to catch her.
Public, and we would be looking for her, but who knows what else she was gonna do.
Family of Harris described her as selfless, a hard worker who worked to provide for her 6 children as a single mother.
She was the best mom anybody could ever ask for. My mama, she woke up every day and went to work for us. My mama died trying to take care of us.
Her children now in shock at how such senseless violence could have ended their mother's life.
Senseless violence. Yes, they are absolutely right. That's senseless violence. Jesus.
So kind. If anybody needed help, she would give you her last. Give you the shirt off her back. She did not deserve that at all.
And police are asking that anyone with any more information on this incident contact the East Point Police Department. We have that phone number in this story at clickondetroit.com. Live in East Point, Noelle Friel, Local 4.
So absolutely crazy. So that was the first video that I saw. Now they got a most recent video out where we actually get to see the suspect. So you already know we got to go over into that. Let's jump right into that.
And now we head over to breaking news where we're learning the identity of the McDonald's employee who's accused of stabbing her manager to death on Thursday.
She's not accused. She did it. There's no need to say accused. No, she stabbed her manager to death.
In the last 30 minutes, we've obtained this booking photo for a...
What is with that wig? Well, I don't know. We're not going to talk about it, but Afeni, I can't even say the Muhammad. Ruined your life, took someone's life, all because your manager sent you home from McDonald's. I just don't understand people some days. I truly don't. What is going through her mind? Why do you let your emotions out of control so much to where you take someone's life? Oh, do we not know how to control our emotions? Maybe I was just grown up very well to where when I, at a very early age, control my emotions, and especially not just react to where I ruined the rest of my life. If I would have done that, I would have never been able to become an engineer, get a good job. I would just be in jail. Let's keep going.
Fentanyl Muhammad. Now, she's expected to be officially arraigned in the next hour. Local 4's Lauren Kostick is live outside the courthouse where the arraignment is set to happen. Good afternoon, Lauren.
That's right, Jay. We're outside the 38th District Court here in East Point. And like I said, this is where that suspect will be arraigned on first-degree murder charges. We are told that is scheduled to start at 1 p.m. here, and the suspect will appear over Zoom from the Macomb County Jail. And like you said, we have now confirmed within the last few minutes the suspect's name. We are told her name is Afeni Muhammad. Police say a manager at the McDonald's on 9 Mile told Muhammad to go home early yesterday morning. She then allegedly left and then came back with a knife. Witnesses say a customer fired a shot to stop the attack and then held Muhammad at gunpoint until police could arrive. And family of the victim yesterday identified the manager as 39-year-old Jennifer Harris, a single mom of 6 that will be deeply missed. And again, we are expecting that suspect to be arraigned here on first-degree murder charges. We will be inside the courtroom and bring you the latest of what happened tonight at 5. For now, live.
First degree murder. Let's see. I gotta go. Gotta pull up a picture again. You got to, because we gotta look at who was so angry, so couldn't control their emotions to come back after getting sent home by their manager and come back 5 minutes later, put on a mask and stab someone. But then they could still see her hands and knew who it was. Oh my God, people. It shocks me how stupid some people are and how ruthless some people are as well. I definitely, when I was younger, in my teenage years, working at a job, got sent home early from my manager, I would have never, ever thought to come back and stab her because she sent me home early. I'm happy I got sent home early. I mean, as a teenager, I didn't really care. Maybe I don't know. It is absolutely wild. Now I'm gonna keep up with the trial and see how much time she gets. But if you ask me, hey, And they're in there for life. If you're killing someone in non-self-defense, planned it, came back, tried to get away, there's no reason you should be out. Just, hey, you don't deserve to be out here with everybody else and the law-abiding citizens. Just let her stay in now. Or she got to come out as when she's too old to even move, too old to she just come out in a nursing home. Like, absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. Like I said, I'll keep up with everything so we can all, hey, we got to review this. We got to review this case. We got to review everything that's happening. But that is absolutely wild. Now I'm going to pivot over to get a little more lighthearted. Shout out to Ashley. She brought this to my attention. So we had Earth's shortest day. Earth's shortest day because the Earth sped up just a tad bit. So it's proposed to happen, I think, two other times this year. So, and it's beating the record for the world's shortest day. I think it wasn't that much. I think it was a couple milliseconds. Nothing crazy, but hey, I love to mention space. Every time I think about do with space and the cosmos, I always think about the show Cosmos. I think that, Cosmos with Neil deGrasse Tyson. The Cosmos. His voice. He was an iconic voice for when learning about the universe and different things like that. And it's just very interesting to me. It always has been. Just not because I'm just an engineer. Not because I'm an engineer. Just because I like to learn about science and the universe. Because it's very interesting just how vast the universe is. Now here's a question. Do you believe in aliens? It's so much space out there in the universe. Do you believe in aliens? Leave me a comment or let me know if you truly believe that aliens exist. I think they do. I don't know if traditional aliens, like as in the green man or the big bald head, but there's definitely, I feel like, alien bacteria at least. There's got to be something out there. But let's jump right over into that and see what this was talking about.
If you feel like time is just flying by today, you're not imagining things. Today, Wednesday, July 9th, is actually going to be shorter, according to scientists who track the rotation of our world. About 1 millisecond shorter, all because the Earth is going to be rotating ever so slightly faster.
Oh, yeah.
With the moon and the sun, as they change distance to the Earth, they change the shape of the Earth, and that spins the Earth, makes it spin faster or slower.
Let's take a step back. Normally, it takes 24 hours or 86,400 seconds for the Earth to make a full rotation.
Now, I hope all y'all knew that. 24 hours. You don't have to know the 86,400 seconds. I definitely didn't know that, but we all know. We're all educated people, hopefully. They know that 24 hours is the usual time of the day.
What we call a day. But scientists found that 3 days this summer will be a little more than a millisecond shorter than that.
So July 9th, July 22nd, which is coming up in 10 days, and then August 5th. All of those will be 1 millisecond or plus or more shorter than the usual 24 hours. So that is absolutely crazy. Let's keep going.
And today is expected to be one of the shortest in history, 1.3 milliseconds less than a normal day. So why is this happening? Just like the moon's gravitational pull impacts our tides, it affects this too.
And part of it is tide effects from the moon and the sun. Part of it is changes in the Earth's fluid core. And part of it is just the weather phenomena that's happening at the moment. So it's a combination of effects which are just adding up.
Even geological events can make an impact. The devastating earthquake and tsunami that hit Japan in 2011 also sped up the Earth's spin by 1.8 millionths of a second, according to NASA. And scientists say there's some evidence that human activity may be making these normal time fluctuations even bigger.
What's happening right
now, it is crazy because you got to think we're humans on the Earth. And what I've seen is that we are the most destructive of the Earth itself. So what we do and what we will do in the future is going to have a vast effect on the Earth. Vast effect. How much? I don't think no one knows, but they have some ideas and estimations of what could happen. And eventually, if we don't do everything right, I do believe that we're going to have to venture out into space. Now, how long that would be, 200 some years, I don't know how long until we have to venture out into space and look for more resources, because the population increase, the Earth is not going to sustain us. It's simple correlation. The more population we have, the more resources we'll need, and the Earth won't be able to sustain that. It's just simple. The Earth is not going to grow bigger to have more resources. So maybe we might invent something to help sustain us even longer. But hey, that is absolutely wild. But let's keep going.
Right now is we're melting ice from the polar regions. So when it melts and it flows into the ocean, it moves that mass further out towards the equator, and that's slowing the rotation down.
So what does such a small difference actually mean to you or me? Well, not much, except in how official time is measured, using uber precise atomic clocks. As the Earth's rotation changes, it's drifting away from atomic time. So scientists have to add extra leap seconds every once in a while. They've actually added 27 leap seconds since 1972, but leap seconds have caused glitches in the digital age.
1 second longer, and while most people won't notice, our machines and gadgets will.
In 2012, the addition of a leap second made the reservation system for Qantas Airlines melt down, forcing the Australian airline to cancel dozens of flights and cause outages across the internet on sites like Reddit, LinkedIn.
That is wild. So one second change, leap second, affected planes, affected the internet. That is absolutely crazy.
And Yelp. It's annoying enough that some have called for the leap second to be abolished.
When you introduce that extra second, so you have to do it manually, and there's always a risk for mistakes and errors.
And now with these super fast days, scientists may have to actually subtract a leap second, but not till 2029, presenting a new possibility for chronological chaos, showing with the right know-how, you really can turn back time.
We thank you for that. Is wild. So they added leap seconds. That was what caused. They're adding time. So basically, the Earth is not. It wasn't speeding. At least this is my thinking. The Earth wasn't speeding up, but it was slowing down just a tad bit. So they had to add a leap second, which is crazy. It's crazy how that affected planes, or they had to land. It didn't make them where they had to crash, but they had to land, and it affected the internet. That is absolutely crazy to me. But what do y'all think? Do you think that over time we're going to have to leave Earth, how some people say? Or do you think the Earth will get even faster over time? But if you have any more science things that you want to talk about, engineering, if you want to talk about, please leave a comment. Let's talk about them. I'm not just trying to review news. I want to bring in science, because science is a big part of my life. So I want to share my knowledge and what I'm thinking with the world so we can talk about it. But that is crazy. That's crazy interesting. Yeah, every time I think about the solar system or think about the universe, Neil deGrasse Tyson always pops in my head. Because that show was very impactful when I was younger. The Cosmos. So that is wild. But we got to pivot some. We got to pivot over into some more heavy stuff. So we got to talk about some heavy things. Not too heavy, of course, but not too heavy, but it's something that we got to talk about, which I found very interesting and very, very crazy. I say crazy. I feel like I say crazy too much. But do it. Yes. Oh, yep. Yep. No problem, Ashley. Thank you for just bringing that up. It's a very cool topic. It's very awesome. But let's jump over into it. The next thing we're going to talk about is, so we had a man was charged after going on a rampage in the gas station. And what I've only watched a little bit of it, But what it sounded like it was just just because of a mistaken identity. It wasn't even the right dude he was trying to go after. So people crash out nowadays for the wrong reasons, and then they'll crash out on someone who has nothing to do with it. Just like that Rodney, I think it's Hinton Jr., who crashed out. I made a video on it, so go back and watch it. But he basically crashed. His son was stealing. Well, I'm just gonna pivot just that. His son stole a car. I think he had a gun on him. At least that's what the police say. Had a gun on him, and the police shot him. And instead of getting angry and going after the police who shot him, he found a random police officer and hurt him and killed him. But people crash out over the wrong people. And it's not, I don't even think you should crash. I don't even think you should crash out on someone. I'm a big believer in controlling your emotions. Because at the end of the day, I'm not trying to go to jail. I'm trying to live my life, a very good life, have a family, and raise well-mannered, successful children. So, but let's jump into this video. The crash out who rampaged at a gas station. Let's go into it.
A wild attack caught on camera in Delaware County, where a man goes on a wild rampage with a baseball bat inside.
Hold on, I gotta back that up. I was looking away.
A wild rampage with a baseball bat inside a gas station filled with customers. But why? Police say it was all a case of mistaken identity, and then it gets even messier from
mistaken identity. See, he is a bat
inside a gas station.
Can't be me. Because I am protected. I protect myself. And if I feel threatened, like my life is threatened, he's swinging a baseball bat at me, we just going to be calling the police afterwards, say I shot somebody. It's just as simple as that. Got to protect yourself, people. Got to protect yourself because people are crazy. And you don't know who is going to crash out with you just because you look like someone else or your identity is mistaken. So let's keep going.
Filled with customers, but why? Police say it was all a case of mistaken identity, and then it gets even messier from there. Chris O'Connell has the details from Prospect Park.
An innocent customer at a Prospect Park gas station got a little bit more than he bargained for after police say he was attacked by a complete stranger swinging a baseball bat.
911 call for a man chasing another man with a bat.
The wild surveillance video from inside the Marathon gas station on Chester Pike
Man
in
got on Jesus
Prospect
slippers.
Park actually started moments earlier. Police say that's 35-year-old Brian Taylor pulling up to the...
You know I like to stop it so we can get a good look of him. You got to look at him. 35-year-old white man, mistaken identity, starts swinging a bat in a gas station. What the dude did to him, or the dude he mistaked him for, did to him where he's going up in the gas station swinging a baseball bat.
Station Tuesday night around 11 and getting a baseball bat
This man
out of...
went in the trunk. Not didn't even go in the trunk for a gun, but went for a baseball bat. I mean, it sounds better to me than pulling out a gun, yes, but still crazy.
His trunk. After looking through the store window, the bat-wielding man walked back into the store to target another man playing skill games. According to he asked, "Where's my money?" Police
said, "Where's my money?" Hold on, let's back that up a bit.
Asked, "Where's my money?" Police say Taylor, who apparently bats right-handed, was intoxicated, had no connection to the victim.
He asked, "Where's the money?" And like I said, this victim was completely innocent. Doesn't know this guy, never seen him before. Just happened to be in there, and this guy decided to take his anger, rage, whatever out on.
It didn't end there. The video shows the victim running away from the store and then being chased into the parking lot. Taylor was arrested at his home a short time later. Regular customers are shaking their heads, especially those with kids.
My mom says she wants everybody to be safe and like there's kids around.
It's just getting worse and worse around here. You know, there's people swinging baseball bats, people on cars, constant fights and everything, you know.
What do you
Police say the victims...
He's trying to say people pooping on cars? The crazy world, y'all. It's a crazy world. Pooping on cars.
Suffered cuts and bruises to his back, arms, and ribs. Taylor, seen here after a DUI arrest in 2017, is also charged with vandalism after police say he defecated in his jail cell.
Delco for you.
Oh my God, man. Oh my God, it's crazy. This is absolutely.
The crazy ones you get.
After police say he defecated in his jail cell.
Delco for you. You get the crazy ones, you get the nice ones, and you get the in-between.
Taylor was released from the Delaware County Jail on $5,000 bail. We spoke with Taylor at his home tonight, but he declined comment after advice.
No one's gonna comment on all the things he went after there's too many things. He went after the wrong person with a baseball bat, chased him down across the street, and he defecated in his jail cell. Right on the floor. Like an animal. 35, you should know better. I don't know how much money he owed you. He must have owed him a lot of money. A lot of money. Let's keep going.
With his attorney, he is due back for a preliminary hearing in court on July 21st in Prospect Park. Chris O'Connell, Fox 29.
That is wild. You got crash outs everywhere, it seems like nowadays. People are crashing out everywhere. I don't understand it. I don't understand why you want to be a crash out. Is it appealing to be a crash out? Do you get more girls being a crash out? Do you make more money being a crash out? Those are the important questions. At least to me. Especially the money part. Ain't no way. Going to jail? Probably lost his job. Probably, I don't even know what he's doing. If he over there getting mad, somebody, where my money at? And go off swinging at him with a bat? Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. Now, we're going to go over to, I think it's Collin County. Collin County. They just gave someone 38 years. 38 years for causing the death of a young woman because he served her fentanyl. Now, fentanyl, to me, go right to jail, under the jail. It's so deadly. Why are you selling that to people? And then you serve it to people and they don't know they're taking it? Absolutely disgusting. Now, it is crazy because I saw that after this death, he was released on bond, or paid his bond. You know how you usually do. And then they picked him up selling again in another county. Yes, selling again in another county. But let's jump right over into that crazy story. Now, we got one more after this. Shorter show today. But this is absolutely crazy. Let's jump right into it.
First time in Collin County, a jury convicted a man of murder for dealing fentanyl. Now the parents of the young woman he killed are sharing their story in hopes other states will adopt a similar law. Fox 4's Lori Brown live in Collin County with the story. Lori.
Clarice, the Benz hope that the first Collin County jury conviction of murder by fentanyl will send a message to other dealers and help save lives.
Gosh, she lit up a room. Great student, straight A's.
Just 10 weeks after Texas enacted a law that considers dealing deadly fentanyl murder, 25-year-old Zoe Ben received a deadly fentanyl pill from Gregory Honesty.
The addictive part of this.
This looks like someone who will kill you. Crazy. Let's keep going.
This is crazy. I mean, just one time. And I think she was introduced to her from an old boyfriend. And it just takes one time. And she had been doing so good for so long.
25-year-old Honesty reached out to Zoe on Instagram.
We found out that he had been...
People buying their drugs off Instagram now. People are buying their drugs off Instagram now. It's a crazy world we live in. Somebody hit you up out of nowhere, offer you to sell you some stuff. I don't know if she knew it was fentanyl or not. Hopefully she didn't. Let's keep going.
Reaching out to her, and she had said, no, I don't do that anymore. I'm getting my life together.
In a weak moment, she succumbed. Collin County prosecutors connected the pill she took.
God damn. Addiction is a very scary thing. Fighting hard. All it takes is one. He reached out to her. She said, I don't do that no more. And then she probably just thought about it. Addiction took over. And she ended up reaching out to him. That is absolutely crazy. But let's keep going with the video.
To honesty.
I mean, they used Instagram messages, they used Cash App payments, and they used cell phone data to directly link those fentanyl-laced pills to this particular dealer.
District Attorney Greg Willis says the new will keep dealers locked up and be a deterrent.
If somebody has a fatal hit and run and we could only write them a speeding ticket, now they are facilitating and basically committing murder, and we can charge them. So the charge fits the actual conduct.
While out on bond for Zoe's murder, Honesty was arrested for dealing fentanyl in Grayson County, causing serious bodily injury to another woman.
Why give him bond? Well, that's crazy. Bond is not. See, I gotta remember, bond is not meant to hold you in jail until the trial. It's just meant to make you come back for the trial. But if someone's already scum enough to be dealing fentanyl, why do you think they're gonna stop? They're gonna go to another county, deal it to make their money. If that's the only money their only money they're making, why would they stop? This man is scum. Look at him. Look, he is scum. Dealing fentanyl. Don't care. He caused damage to the girl or whoever he gave it to in the other county. I truly don't understand humans sometimes. People. Truly don't. Let's keep going.
I don't think he should have been out on bail.
No.
While the Benns are thankful for Honesty receiving a 38-year sentence, all they really want is another day with their daughter.
She loved to sing. And
at the end of the day, how much time he got. The daughter lost her life. The parents are without a daughter now. So him being yes is a good thing that he got the 38 years, which I'm in there for. I don't care. You causing murder, especially with fentanyl. Send him there, put him under the jail. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's not going to bring your loved ones back. You have to deal with the grief of losing your daughter. Let's keep the family in our prayers. We've looked over today. Just keep everybody. We need to keep the world in our prayers, it sounds like. Let's keep going and finish up this video.
Dance, and she had a beautiful voice.
She was a singer?
She was my fishing buddy.
How do you feel knowing that Zoe provided this first jury trial conviction for murder?
It gives a sense of purpose, and that's why we're here.
That it was because she was a healer and she was a helper, and I feel like, in some ways she's helping hopefully other people to not have to go through this.
So this is the first of its kind trial for a fentanyl murder. I can't imagine as a father, if I was a father, or just as a man, because I want a daughter one day, of course, but as a man, looking at the man who took away your daughter. Now, like I said, I'm never an advocate for crashing out, but it's going to be hard. I truly think it'll be hard. My daughter's not here and you're sitting here in trial. Be upset. I'm going to be more than upset. I'm going to be devastated. You got to deal with it, but you got to deal with it. I mean, you got to not deal with the grief, deal with the sadness, deal with the anger. And don't just bottle it up, because if you bottle it up and tuck it down, it can explode when you're never ready for it. And that happens a lot. People explode because they bottle up their anger, bottle up their emotions too much. Don't talk about it. Don't find someone to talk to about it. And when they finally explode, they do something they regret. Now, and it ruins their life. But let's finish up this video.
A Grayson County grand jury indicted Honesty in February for dealing fentanyl and causing serious bodily injury to Macy Jo Chastain. The district attorney's office told me that they could not comment on the case. No court dates have been set yet. Clarice.
We thank her parents for talking to you, Lord.
Absolutely wild. Absolutely wild. Now, let me know. Do you think that 38 years was enough for him? Should he have gotten life? What do you think about this just being the first case that they've had to deal with? Or first case that they charged for fentanyl murder? Because I think it's definitely been happening. But did they go, I don't know. If there's one person selling fentanyl, there's more. He got to get it from somewhere. Tragic situation all around. Now, the last thing we're going to talk about today, it's early in the morning on Saturday, so we can get on with the day. I got to get into the gym, cut some grass, do some yard work. Y'all know how it is. But the next thing we're going to talk about, which is, I can't even fathom what is happening. In West Baltimore, 25 people were hospitalized for overdose, mass overdose. I wonder what they were on. Was it fentanyl? But we're going to talk about that. And then we're going to, after that video where they just mention it and talk about what the 25 people, there's a witness who talks about describes what he's seen. So we're going to get into that as well. So let's jump right into that.
This is breaking news.
Well, this breaking news, at least 25 people are in the hospital tonight after a mass overdose in Baltimore City this morning. It happened near the intersection of Pennsylvania and North Avenues. Hello, everybody. I'm Denise Hoke, and welcome to WJ's Local News at 6. Police say at least 5 of those patients are in critical condition tonight, and the number of victims could increase. Stefan Dingle has been following this story all day. He has the very latest on the investigation.
This intersection is always busy. It's always a lot of people out here, a lot of drug activity.
Just before 9:30 Thursday morning, Baltimore Fire and EMS responded to Pennsylvania and North Avenues for a drug overdose of one person. That quickly turned into a mass overdose of at least 15.
Along North Avenue, along Pensy, both subway platforms, and then kind of off the beaten path down some of the alleys.
We have teams this way if we could take some teams.
This mass overdose event brought out community partners, the Mayor's Office of Overdose Response, and concerned neighbors to help find more victims who took the laced drug. People tell WJZ the drug was given out as a tester to victims, and it was called New Jack City.
So you mean to tell me there are people taking new drugs? Oh, well, I'm not surprised there's people taking new drugs. But trying out drugs? They don't know the effects of it. Some people are stupid. Some people are truly stupid. I mean, it's just trying to be blunt. Got to be blunt about it. Some people are stupid. Now, yes, there are some people who get hooked on it without their knowledge and then just become hooked. But I can't fathom someone coming up to me, hey man, you want to try this new drug? called New Jack City. What? What are you talking about? You don't know what the dosage is yet? They don't know anything. I don't understand people, man. But let's keep going into this video.
Some say it was laced with Freon or antifreeze, which can poison people, although officials...
You mean the stuff they put in air conditionings? Freon? Antifreeze? The stuff you put in cars? Yeah, crazy.
Officials have not confirmed.
We don't know what's in the supply, and so for folks to be careful if they're using, to have Narcan available.
And that's one of the reasons that I'm out here trying to uplift the community and help those fight their addictions off.
As advocates handed out Narcan to those chasing their next fix, people like Crystal Drayton handed out information for people to get help. Throughout the day, victims started piling up outside the Enoch Pratt Free Library to get help.
This is very disheartening. I do outreach work in this area every Tuesday and Thursday, and we have harm reduction right down the street. So, it's very sad. It's still going on there.
And I think this is an example of us all coming together to collaborate to respond to the needs of the city and address overdose.
Now, yes, that is very good that the city came together and is giving out. But it's crazy you have to give out. Yeah, whenever you get your next fix, just make sure you got the Narcan next to you so you can be prepared for if you overdose. I mean, God, I don't know. I don't want to be in a city where this is happening. I'm gonna be honest. Well, maybe it's just happening everywhere, but I don't see people just overdosing on the streets in the city that I am in. I don't. Tell me if that's different for yours. If you see people strung out, tell me about it. Tell me how do you feel about it? What is being done about that in your city? Or are people just giving out Narcan just in case, or whatever they're giving out to just in case they take too much? I don't know.
Sympathy led the way at one of West Baltimore's most notorious intersections, where struggle, illness, and help all exist at the same time with compassion.
Keep pushing. We all have a story. We all go through trials and tribulations.
Now, our last update we got from police was earlier this afternoon, and that was when they told us those 15 patients were hospitalized, 5 of them in critical condition. We are able to report to you tonight new information from the fire department where they say that number has now risen to 20 plus. Track of the developments here on the ground. For now, we're in Penn North. I'm Stefan Dingle for WJZ.
And the very latest is the number of 25. Thank you, Stefan. Just last night, the city held the first listening session to decide what it should do with the millions of dollars won in settlements from pharmaceutical companies for their role in the opioid crisis. Dozens of community members where they think the money should go. The city plans to hold 3 more listening sessions.
They got an opioid and drug crisis over in Baltimore. Just a whole crisis. Jesus. Millions of dollars they had to pay. But now like I said, we're going to go over to one more video about this where a witness is talking about what they saw and described.
Blocks and blocks taped off, first responders scattered for at least 25 people, they're telling us tonight, overdosing in West Baltimore. I spoke to folks out there today. They say they were seeing people drop left and right, collapsing. I myself witnessed 2 people experiencing overdose symptoms while I was out there for just 90 minutes.
You're out there for 90 minutes and you see 2 people dropping because of overdose? Nah, I'm not trying to be there. Not at all.
One of dozens of overdoses happening this Thursday near Pennsylvania and North Avenues, just across the street from the Penn North Recovery Center, where nurse practitioner Josie Dantzler was sitting.
That's probably the third or fourth person.
They actually saw? Hold on, I got to back that up just a tad bit. That is crazy.
Is happening this Thursday near Pennsylvania and North Avenues, just across the street from the Penn North Recovery Center, where nurse practitioner Josie Dantzler was sitting.
That's probably the third or fourth person I've helped in the last 30 to 40 minutes. People are just passing out from whatever they're overdosing.
I was walking down the street and I happened to see his feet sticking out,
and I saw him leaning over.
This man yelling for help after seeing another man down on the ground.
I called medic once I seen his eyes in the back of his head.
Never seen anything like that, so yeah, maybe it is a bad batch, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's an epidemic. We deal with this every day, probably not on this high of a, scale, but we go through this every day.
Alongside Josie is the harm.
Now, let me say this. Yes, people trying new drugs are stupid, or I don't believe in. Some of the stuff is crazy out there, but end of the day, like with everything, we got to pray that they find the strength to kick their addiction. That is the main thing. Let's pray for them to find the strength to kick their addiction. They can move on with their life and become productive members of society. Let's keep going.
Production director for the Penn North Recovery Center, Bernard Nelson. He says they were out there to hand out Narcan and fentanyl testing strips.
I've never seen nothing like this. And I've never seen nothing like this and while doing Narcan. They were foaming from the mouth, some of them.
A surreal scene sparking a large response from harm reduction organizations like the 24-Hour Community Peer Project, which works to...
Foaming from the mouth is crazy. Foaming from the mouth? Like rabies foaming from the mouth? That is absolutely wild. And something is wrong.
Link people to services.
33 years in recovery, I've never seen anything like this. I've never seen anything close to this. In 2 hours, we've helped at least 6 people.
Like administer the Narcan?
That's just the Narcan.
The mayor's office says the harm reduction distribution will continue throughout the night.
I don't know the logistics of exactly what happened, but it doesn't make any difference. It happened. And we're here to try to do the best we can about it.
And what a scene that was. Tonight, Baltimore police are reminding folks that individuals can seek medical care without fear of arrest. I'm live tonight outside of BPD headquarters. Tori Yorgi, WBAL TV 11 News.
That is wild. Now tell me, what do you think should happen to the person who was dealing this type of drug? Then they call it New Jack City. That's the name of the drug. If I'm mistaken, tell me in the comments if that's not what they said. But what do you think should happen? I think at least if no one's died, attempted murder at the minimum, and then whatever drug charges that have to come with it. If someone dies, yes, you got to get charged with murder, attempted murder, and just being a terrible human being in general. Coming up with a new drug, trying to get some money, and you mix in Freon, antifreeze, and antifreeze, stuff that needs to be in the car. I remember Boosie said something when he was talking about the fentanyl epidemic, or what's happening with fentanyl, and he said he doesn't remember because he used to know crackheads for years, doing crack all their life. You know, they got that crackhead strength. They out there growing old. But then fentanyl and these new drugs come, take one hit of it and they die or overdose after one hit. Now, I don't agree with doing crack. I don't agree with doing any of that. But stuff is so deadly nowadays. Not just the people are deadly. The young people who have so many guns now against the YNs, but the drugs out there that you don't know what's in them, just taking them because you have an addiction, and they're going to use that addiction against you so they can make money and line their pockets. But that is, tell me what you think. Tell me what you thought. Now, I've been on a roll lately. Now, I consider it a roll. Streamed 3 days this week, so I think that's what's going to be the normal. So Tuesdays, Fridays and Saturdays is going to be my streaming days. Early in the morning, 6. I don't know if your early birds can handle it, but 6 a.m. that's the usual time I'm up and ready to start because I work from the house those days. And then Saturday at 8 a.m. So those are going to be my norm. I'm going to commit to that every Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday with new stories about science, about just the news articles and the current news and crime that's coming out just all around the United States and even some overseas if I find some stuff interesting. Just interesting videos that I want to show and want to talk about. But thank you for watching, everybody. Ashley, thank you for sticking around. You a real one. You a real one. Was here yesterday too, so thank you. Tell me what you thought about the show. And hey, it's a very good. It's a Saturday. Good morning. Let's have a good weekend, everybody. Stay safe. And hopefully it's not raining. But that is it for the show, everybody. Thank you for watching. Peace. Remember, this is AC the Engineer, and this is AC Reviews the World. And we just got to review the world together. So that is it. I got to play the outro. Peace.